Hello, awesome people. I hope you guys are all doing well. It's your girl's birthday today, and my sister decided to spend some time with me, gisting with you guys. And I can't wait to hear all the golden nuggets that she's got for us all today. But before we do all of that, a few pieces of announcements. The first one is that today's my birthday. I'm gonna
Happy
bore you guys to it.
birthday!
Yay!
Happy birthday,
God has been
oh.
good. He's been good.
Yes,
Oh,
so
he's been good.
we
It's
thank
been
God for yes.
yes. Keep going, my dear. You say what you want to say first.
I just want to say a very big happy birthday to you. Praying for more grace, more wisdoms, more opportunities,
Amen.
and God's anointing upon your head may expand to touch more lives, change more lives, and transform more lives.
Amen.
In Jesus' name.
Oh, amen. Happy
Yes,
birthday
so
to me.
yes, so happy birthday. Yes, so we are doing the
Oh,
party now. We are doing the
yes.
party now. We're starting
Mhm.
now. Yes, yeah.
Yes, we are partying. The party actually started last night. A Facebook family, like these people are just crazily awesome. The birthday messages, oh my God, you guys. I don't know what to do with you. And then I woke up this morning and I had a birthday present and then another and then another. And it's like, oh my gosh, what am I
Yes,
gonna
so
do? Huh? You guys have been awesome. Who am I? 2 years ago, I never in my wildest dreams thought that it was even possible. But here we are. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you so, so much. Now, my sister is going to anoint us with holy anointing today as we are stepping foot into 2023. May it be a super awesome year for all of us. May it be an amazing year for every single one of us. And today we're just talking about goal setting. Me, I want to dance more before we start. So I'm going to play Sika Educate whilst my sister drinks water, sit down comfortably, and when we come back, then we start. I don't know how to dance. If you laugh, your teeth will fall out of your mouth. So let's go.
Sika educate, yeah, what Facebook, YouTube, and Insta. Sika educate, Sika educate. Yeah, cassava, abum, our real name, Sika educate. Or don't come up, run, yeah, who are true. Sika educate. Unyani, baby, Sika educate. Ain't like a page, you know, I am vibe. But more than YouTube, subscribe it. Sika educate is the name. All a man them source and they come from inspiration, motivation, wapomuden education. Wafranada, when it's here, or don't come or ekusika deba. Wafranada, bema jai, or don't come or ekusika deba. Sika educate. Yeah, what Facebook, YouTube, and Insta. Sika educate. Yeah, cassava, abum, our real name, Sika educate. Or don't come up, run, yeah, who are true. Sika educate.
Okay, I didn't want to scare any of you guys, so I decided not to even bother dancing. But I'm going to get my sister to unmute herself and get this party on the road. We're not going to stay for long. I just want to say thank you to every single one of you. You guys are super awesome, and I love every single one of you. Ikwamwa, the floor is yours.
hello, thank you, Sika, and happy birthday once again. Want to say good morning to those who is mourning and those who are already in the new year. Happy New Year. Want to say good afternoon to those who are still in the afternoon, and then good evening to those who are in the evening. Want to thank everyone for being here and to help celebrate our sister's birthday. As we all know, it's also the end of the year. And if it's the end of the year, then we have no choice but to really spend some time to reflect on our lives, and then also really think about what we hope to get done in 2023, right? So the Bible says we should write the vision and we should make it plain, right? So we're really gonna talk about setting goals, and really, I just want us to just talk about everything in layman's term, like nothing complicated. Let's make it simple that everybody can understand. That even your 8-year-old child can listen to this audio and will be able to do something for themselves, right? So when we talk about goal setting, setting goals is, we all know what it means, writing down something that you want to achieve, right? Something that you want to be able to come fruition in your life. So one of the biggest mistake most of us do is we set what we call vague goals, right? You make it so broad that you're not able to achieve anything. But in 2023, we want to help everybody to really try and achieve something. That's why we're just trying to have just this short discussion, not long, short discussion on how we can really set some really smart goals. But so these are just the few main points that I want everybody to know. When it comes to setting your goals, you need to know why. First of all, you have to brainstorm why you want to set that goal. Okay. Number two, you have to check, does this goal include somebody, or is it just by myself? Right? For example, if it's your goal to get married, do you already have someone in mind? And is that person also, is it their goal as well to get married in 2023? You can't just set a goal that I'm getting married in 2023, right? First, it's really broad. Second, it involves another party, right? And that other party must also be on the same page with you, right? So when you're setting goals, you also have to check that aspect of it. Does it involve somebody else? And is it really reasonable that you're setting a goal that involves somebody else who you don't have control over their lives or what they might or might not do, right? And the reason why I would just want us to really be specific is most of the time we set goals and then we're not able to achieve them, and then after we start to blame others, or we get very, very disappointed, and then we start to feel inadequate, right? So these are just little nuggets and tips. Some of us are going to be going to church. We're going to be writing down our 12 things and all these things that we want to happen in our lives. Okay. And then the third thing is you want to ask, why am I setting this goal? I want to get married in 2023. Why do you need to get married in 2023? Is it because you're having social pressure, right? Is it because you are in the stage you feel like you must marry, right? So you need to understand, ask yourself why. Because all of these things will help you make a very smart decision on what your goal settings are or why you want to set those goals. Okay. So it's very, very important that we understand why we are setting goals. Okay. So the next thing that we want to do is we want to list areas of our lives that we want to set goals in. And it's highly recommended that we set goals in 7 areas of our lives, these specific 7 areas of our lives. Okay. Your number one should be your spiritual. You were like, brother, why do I need to set a spiritual goal? And when I say spiritual, it doesn't mean, oh, because you're Christian or what. You must, whether you're a Christian, you're not Christian, you're Muslim, you are Jewish, you're Buddhist, you are Hindu, whatever you are or religious belief that you have, you must set some sort of spiritual goal. And to be very specific, maybe let's say you're a Muslim, okay? Maybe usually during Ramadan you kind of like do half half. right? Maybe they say you want to set a goal that you'll be fully committed to your Ramadan, right? Another goal for a Muslim will be maybe this year, I want to save money. So maybe 2024, I can go to Mecca, right? So, spiritual goal, your number one goal should be how you're going to grow spiritually. Because you have to know that even as a Christian, the Bible says that we do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but against principality, powers, and rulers of darkness in the heavenly realm. So, whatever your goals are, you have to know that it has to come with some sort of spiritual components. Okay? So, whether you want to pray more, maybe you want to spend more time in the Word, or maybe you want to join a fellowship that is really dedicated and committed. You want to join maybe a Bible reading group or a book club or something. So, set a spiritual goal. Okay, so whatever it is, maybe you want to go to Bible studies more, right? Maybe you want to do more charity. A lot of people forget that charity is also part of your spirituality. Giving to the poor, which can be in a form of volunteering, which can be in a form of um, giving to organizations that really help the poor. And when I say giving to organizations that really help the poor, please research and make sure that most of the money you're donating is directly going to go to the people that are in need. Okay, so those are all part of your spiritual growth, your spiritual goal that you must set for yourself. Okay. The second item that you want to set is your financial goal. You cannot do anything without money.
That's right.
Okay? You cannot do anything without money. For example, I'll give myself as an example. I set this goal a few years back where every January I review all my bills. Okay? You review your telephone bill, my cable bill, electricity bill, all of those bills. The reason why I do that is sometimes you'll be paying for stuff that you are not using.
Mm-hmm.
And then little $10 here, $5 here, they add up.
That's
right?
Yeah.
So because sometimes people think that, oh, financial goal means now I have to start saving $10. No. You can do something as simple as sitting down and reflecting on how much money you're spending on
That's
specific
right.
things in your life.
Mm-hmm.
And then once I audit all those bills, I'll be able to find out what I can get rid of. Okay? So, or sometimes even with the cable companies, I'll call them and ask them because sometimes you got your cable like 2 years ago. Now they have new deals, new bundles that if you take those new bundles, you will save like $20 a month, right? So this is also part of your financial goal that you can set for yourself. Those of us that live in the diaspora, right? If you live in other parts of the world, you can also review some of the things that you can do to save money, right? Or maybe you want to start doing susu, whichever one you want to do, or you want to set a financial goal that maybe at the end of the year I must have like maybe 120 Ghana every month. I'll say 10 Ghana, right? So whatever financial goals that you want to set for yourself, okay? I'll give you my examples of how I audit my bills, and this has really saved me significant amount of money, especially with my cable companies and my phone companies. You'd be amazed how much money you can save,
That's
right?
right.
Because sometimes there's always, especially when it comes to these type of things, there's always a better deal out there that you must always look at. The third thing, which I find that most Black people do not pay attention to, is career. You must have a career goal. Every year, one of your goals should include your career. That means that you need to focus on position mobility, upward mobility in your career. You cannot be at a starter or entry level position for far too long. You must aspire to get somewhere. And how do you do that? You have to set realistic goals. Find out if I want to go to the next level or do something else that the person that is ahead of me does, how can I achieve it? And use that as part of your goal setting. Okay, so you must set your career goal as well. And I can just give you a specific example for myself. When I see a position at work, I review and I see, number one, is it something I would like? Number two, is the money better than what I'm doing right now? Number three, what is the qualification that is required?
Mm-hmm.
I research into the qualification, and then after I research into the qualification, I'll see how long would it take for me to get it, right? And how much is it going to cost me? And do I have the money to get that qualification? Or is there a way I can get that qualification for free as
Mm-hmm.
well, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So think about your set career goals as well. Okay, it's not nice that you be in the same position for so long. You must think about career mobility and set that as your goal. Number four thing you must set goals in is intellectual. When we talk about intellectual, some be like, oh man, me, I don't have degree. Me, I didn't finish Form 4. Me, I didn't finish JSS. What do you mean intellectual? Roberta, what are you talking about? When we talk about intellectual, it can come in any form,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's reading, taking a course, or you can listen to audios. Okay, if you are not a reader, you can listen to audiobooks. Okay, you can listen to good podcasts. Okay, all those things will help you as you're listening to us. This is an intellectual transaction you are doing.
That's right.
We have the knowledge, we are passing it on to you. Invest in yourself. Okay, so if let's say you can just go to one seminar that costs you like $500 a whole year, that seminar you might think is useless because you want to go sit there and listen to somebody. My dear, you're still walking away with some sort of knowledge. Okay, for those women who are in churches and men who are in churches, part of your intellectual growth participation is participation in things like women's conference. Okay, because people come to those places to share knowledge,
Mm-hmm.
abundance of knowledge. So you can actively participate in all those workshops that's available in your churches. That you only thing that you think about is going to church on Sunday. No, all those special events that the workshops and conferences that they do, participate in them. I've seen people who have a list of all the must go women conferences in North America and they make
Mm-hmm.
sure they go to them.
Mm-hmm.
TG Jake's wife makes one, they go. Joe Austin's wife does a women conference, they will go. They're not going, and when they go, they don't come back
The same.
the same, right? So when it comes to intellectual goals, which you must add as part of your goal setting for 2023, you must think of it as many ways other than sitting in a classroom. Okay, you have books, audiobooks you can listen to help you in the area that you want to improve in your life, whether it's fear, whether it's anxiety, whatever it is, right? Whether it's even improving in your career. The other place that you can find knowledge is on YouTube. Okay, there is so many knowledge there as well for you and for your kids as well. So you should really dig deep dive and say, okay, maybe I'll read one audiobook 2 months, every 2 months, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So maybe if you commute to take the bus, you can just be listening to it as you're going to work or coming back, or 30 minutes every night before you sleep, right? So there's so many ways where you can set your intellectual goals as well. So I think I'm being very specific here. Sika, am I being giving really good examples?
Oh, of course you are. Of course you
Okay,
are. Yeah. Go ahead.
so the number fifth place I want you to set your goals is in the terms of fitness.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I know this is a struggle for all of us, even me, right? So the other areas of your life you must set goals in is in fitness. It doesn't mean go and register at a gym. No, you can just start by just doing half an hour walk every twice a week, 3 times a week. Do what you can do, okay? So you must set a goal in your fitness area. That might also be like, reducing the amount of sugar you're eating, um, eating more fruits, eating more vegetables, drinking, juicing more, whatever you can do. So, fitness must also be part of your goal setting, right? So, that's also one of the things. The next thing is family.
Mhm.
Family. Family is very, very important, especially when it comes to we women, people of color, right? Or black people, African people. I know that we sometimes bump heads with our families and everything. So you set the goal that you want based on your family type. Some of us, we need to maybe set boundaries with family members, right? So sit down and write down what you want to achieve with your family. If we're a married couple, you want to set goals for your children and for yourself as a family. Maybe you are renting. This year, what can you do to maybe have your first down payment for your first house?
Mhm.
Okay? So
Mhm.
that's something like a family can do, right? Maybe your children are going to be going to university. So, as a family, what can you do to help your first child go to university and succeed, right? Or your first child is going to high school. What can you as a family do? You, mom and papa, what can you do? So, setting goals as family is also so very, very important, right? Um, there's so many things that you can do as a family to really help catapult, because really at the end of the day, if everybody in the family succeed, you have a very happy family. If one person is dragging the whole family down, that is at the end of the day is causes distress on everybody, right? So setting goals with the family is very, very important. I mean, if you're single, you're not committed, you will still have a mom or dad. Maybe one of them may be retiring. So setting goals on how the retirement process is going to be and how you guys can all work together to make it achievable is also part of how you are going to set some of these goals. Okay. And the last one, 7 area of your life you must set goals in 2023 is in your social life. Okay. We as humans, we are social beings. And if you live in isolation, you allow yourself to be victimized. Okay? You allow yourself to be victimized. So you have to have a social goal. And your social goal should involve heavy networking. Okay? You might be a carpenter, somebody might be a welder, somebody might be an architect. Somebody might be a mechanical engineer. When you're building a building, you will need every single one of them. You need a plumber. You even need a cleaner. Because once everything is done, a cleaner must come and clean. So if I hear people say, as for me, I want to be by myself, as for me, I want to be by myself, you are killing yourself. You need to have social goals.
Mhm.
The reason why you're finding that you want to live in isolation is because you are connecting to the wrong people. So you need to build yourself and increase your social network, because your social network is a reflection of your net worth. Okay? Your social network is a reflection of your net worth. So see what you can do to expand your social life. Okay. And in doing that, you help catapult some of your goals. Okay. I remember like when we were in uni, that was before, that time was when Netscape time, where the internet was as slow as but within our dorms, we had the university had its own social network. So for those of you who do not know how Facebook came about, Facebook was actually an idea that was stolen off those social networks that were already in universities. So on those network, if let's say if I download my songs onto that social network, everybody that goes to that university that I went to has access to that music, and they can also download it onto their computer. Okay, if somebody download an answer to an assignment, I can also go in and download it. So if I went to that school and I said, "Me, I'm not social, so I'll not download that social app that the school has made available to me." I'm missing out on music. I'm missing out on the ability to communicate with my fellow peers. I'm missing out on the ability to find answers to some of my questions, the ability to download some journals to be able to write my research papers and stuff, right? So you need to have a social life. And in fact, I really want to emphasize this because I always, especially I hear our people, as for me, I want to be by myself. Oh, I don't want any trouble. Oh. I really want to emphasize this because it's very, very important, both for us in terms of we that we are in the world, and we that we are also in religiosity, right? Think about it. Jesus was by himself when he set out. Do you think that Jesus could not have gone out and did all those things by himself because he's the Son of God? Yes, he could. But the Bible says that he went, he called the fisherman, he called the carpenter, he called a doctor. Most of you know, Luke was a doctor, you know, he called John, who is someone who loves to write, right? He called so many different people. And later he called Paul. Paul was somebody who is very politically inclined, right? So you, if Jesus could have done many things in isolation, but yet he called people of different background, brought them together, and now you and I, we know of the church, right? So you cannot do anything in isolation. Nothing can be achieved without a social network. Okay, we take somebody like uh, uh, Facebook that we are on right now. When he started out, he didn't have the money, but he knew that if he goes to Silicon Valley, there was a social network there for him to build. He went to the guy that owns PayPal and say, "Hey, this is my idea," right? And the guy that owns PayPal, he and Elon Musk were friends too, right? And together they all joined together. And today you and I are enjoying Facebook. So having a social goal is very vital. Okay. So I want to we go back to the 7 areas again for those of us that have not did not hear about it. So number one was spiritual, number two was financial, number three was career, number four was intellectual, number five was fitness, number six was family, and number seven was social. Sika, do you have anything else to add before I move on to my next?
Like you have just, it's like, when you're sat down and somebody gives you a cake, and then they put on the sugar and icing, and then they pour some awesome stuff on it, and Skittles and all of that stuff. That's what you've done. Like, these are the sorts of nuggets that people pay huge sums of money for. But today, because my sister loves me and it's my birthday today, you guys get to enjoy all of this super awesomeness for free. It's not going to be there every day. So I hope that people have actually taken pen and paper and have written down the 7 things. I'm going to put it in the chat shortly. There's a lot that is happening. Like, as humans, I don't know about you, my darling, but every
There's a
year
lot that is
for
as
for many
humans.
years now, I would sit down on the 31st of December, take a pen and paper or a notepad, and I will write all of these things down in my huge, beautiful notebook. I want to be rich in 2023. I want to be successful in 2023. I want to be happy in 2023. I want to be healthy in 2023. Say all these things. And then at about 10 o'clock, back in Ghana, England, whatever, you go to church. You dance your way out of church. Like, and it happens to be my birthday. So you can just imagine I'm all dressed up and, all sanctimonious. I go to church and I dance so much. By the time I leave, my knees hurt. My clothes are soaking wet in sweat. It's a good thing. Don't get me wrong. I'm not poo pooing going to church. I'm not saying going to church is a bad thing. Hey, I am a Christian, okay? I believe. And I don't care what faith you have, Christian, Muslim, whatever. We are all people that have faith in something, believing or something. But what I am saying is that going to church or the mosque and making noise, writing it down and shouting, it's not what's going to change anything. As my sister said when she opened, she said, the Bible says, write down the vision and make it plain. It doesn't have to be some complicated something that you've written down. The fact is, okay, you want to be healthy in 2023. What are you going to do in order for that to happen? It's not enough to just put it on pen and paper, but that's what I used to do many years. I write it down and it makes me feel good for 2 days. Ask me after 90 days, do I even know where that piece of paper, that notebook, where it's at? And that is the story for a lot of us. If you be honest, this is what you've been doing. And then by September, October into November, you have this great awakening. And it's like, oh, the year's almost over. I haven't achieved anything. I didn't become rich in 20. Maybe, maybe 2024 may be different. So then you go back to church again, you pray harder, you scream harder, thinking that something is going to change. But before God blesses you, you have to position yourself in that place and show that you're actually ready and waiting for the blessing. You want to be rich in 2023. What are you doing? You're still in the same job, keeping the same naughty friends that don't teach you anything good. All they're saying to you is, hey, Charlie, this apple, we must chop am 2023, more gas. That's all you're thinking about. If you're a lady, you're also sitting there, hey, I'm so beautiful. I'm 25. Everybody's going to love me anyway. So, I'm going to have 3 boyfriends. I'm going to have the one that has the money that's going to buy me the extensions and the yada yada. I'm going to have somebody else who's going to take me around the world. I'm going to have this. No, what do you want to achieve? In 2023, we must stop riding on other people's trains, and expecting other people to be the ones that make you successful. It is down to you. That's an insult to God, in my opinion, because He's giving you everything that you need: the brains, the hands, the fingers, the everything that you need. What are you doing with it? Like, what are you doing? The people out there rocking it out there, right? I'm not saying that you need to sit there and it's some kind of competition. But sit down and ask yourself the question, my darling, today. Are you being the best version of yourself that is possible? Like my sister and I had some conversations yesterday, and I was like, Charlie, I'm playing. Oh, I'm playing. I'm 14 years today, and I'm playing. Because when I see what other people are doing, I'm playing. It's I'm playing, like I'm playing. Yes. So are you gonna sit there and look at me now today and tell me that you're being the best version of yourself, like you've done everything humanly possible? If you know the answer to that question is no, and you know that you have more inside of you to give in 2023 in order to improve yourself and be a better person, then it's time. And the time for talking about it, and in like these days, you have to be very careful how you use your language. The things that I want to say, I have to withhold myself, right? But if you really really want it in 2023, it's not the writing down alone that's going to change nothing. Like you need to change. My sister talked about social goals. I don't want to be around anybody. I don't want any trouble. Like she said, you don't have the right people around you is why you don't want no trouble. Do you have the five people that you speak the most to on your cell phone? Who are they? And when they call you, what sorts of conversations do you have? That Roberta girl. She thinks she's all that, and she doesn't even look at her. And she's always, those are the sorts of friends that you keep. Then the next one is telling you about this boyfriend that you have to go and have in 2023, and he has money and he's rich and this and that. And if you're a man and you're listening to me, you're in my inbox sending me all manner of messages. I like you, and you are so amazing. You have beautiful eyes. Hey, I go block you one time because you're not adding anything to my life, right? So if you keep all these kinds of people and you're wanting to be rich in 2023, like seriously, how is that going to happen? Look at the five friends that you have, the five people that you speak to every day. Do they even speak life into you? When you speak to them and you get off the phone, do you get off the phone inspired to want to be something better? If the answer to that question is no, my darling, you know it yourself. And you know that there's certain things that need to change. I'll tell you one of my secrets and I'll let my sister continue. I don't want to take over the show. It's hers, right? It's my birthday. I'm not supposed to be talking too much. But one of the things I do is that on the 1st of January, I go to my let's just take WhatsApp, for example, and I scroll down to the very bottom. It's the 1st of January. So a whole year has come and passed. Who are the people that I haven't heard from in one whole year? They don't care about me. And obviously, we've moved on. No hard feelings. It's not that I dislike or hate or nothing anybody. But if in a whole 365 days, we haven't had no communication, yeah, it's time to let you go. I cut you loose. Like I ain't got time, right? And if you're in our sorts of ages, 30s, late 30s, 40s, my darling, you ain't got time. You don't have time. Like your pension is there. You can smell it. I can smell it, right? There's no time to waste on anything. So please, 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 please. And those of you who have been playing around with your health in your 40s, that's the other thing. The last thing that I'm going to talk about, and now I'm going to give the floor back to my sister, is that she talked about fitness, going for a walk, eating fruits and vegetables. The question that I want you to ask yourself: when was the last time you had an MOT, a health MOT? When was the last time? Have you seen your GP, your doctor in the last year? Do you know whether your blood pressure is okay? Because that thing is a silent, yeah, it takes you out silently. A lot of you have blood pressures over the 120 over 80 mark, 140 something, 150 over 110, and you don't even know about it. You have this splitting headache sometimes, and maybe I'm just tired, and you just brush it off, and you're in your 40s. Guy, darling, it's time for you to get serious with yourself if you want to keep living. What's the point of having all the money if you don't even have the health to enjoy the richness, right? You don't um you're harboring so much ill feelings towards people around you instead of talking about it and letting it out and getting all that stress out of your system. You're keeping it all inside and it's causing you stress. You're going to have a stroke. Oh, you are going to you're walking a walking stroke. You guys, we, especially we people of color, we are the ones that have all these unfortunate illnesses that cost so much money to fix or manage, and yet we don't do the things that are going to help us to be better people. We think that having big pot belly is evidence of good living. My love, some of us, we are managing our plasma TV and our desktop and everything. It's a management. But a lot of people have just let themselves go, not doing anything. And you think that by praying, if you go and pray for 6 hours, then something is going to happen. No, nothing ain't going to change if you're not changing you. God is ready. He's packaged all the blessings for you. He's waiting for you to show the willingness and that your hands are open to receive them so that he can hand them over to you. Look, I don't want to preach today. It's my birthday. I'm going to start shouting and everything. My darling, please take over the floor, because if we start this thing now, 5 hours will still be here. So let me leave this here and let you take over, my love.
Yeah, thank you, Sika. But in addition to what you just said, because this is actually very vital and very important. Um, if you're a woman, as you are in your 20s and up, or you're sexually active, please ensure that you're getting pap tests done. Depending on where you are, I know you can get it every other year done in Canada. I, for one, get mine done every January,
Mm,
right? Or every other January, okay?
mm, mm,
Because that one helps to detect ovarian cancer, okay? And if possibly any STD that you might have picked up. So please ensure that you are scheduling. The easiest way really to get your physical done is really schedule all those things in January. Know that in January, I'm gonna get my physical done, all blood work done, my pap test done, and if you're a man, the same thing. Get everything checked, okay? Get everything checked because it can help save your life.
mm,
You want to save your life. You want something like cancer to be detected right away. Because I remember my former boss went for her pap test, and she does hers in January as well. And she went, and then they had seen that she was having cancer, cancer in her ovaries. Right then and then, they did emergency surgery. They removed everything. And this was in like 2009. She's still alive now because it was detected early. Something
mm.
that there's no need to kill you. Don't let it kill you, okay? And after, you want to blame all the witchcraft in the world, but you yourself have not made the best decision for yourself, okay? So please, let's ensure that we are getting those things done. We're getting our pap test done. We're getting all our physicals done. And if we're a man, please, especially our men, please, our men, have a GP, have a family doctor, and please go to them. Get yourself checked. Because this thing you hear sometimes, oh, Oko Ghana,
Hmm.
or where did he? But when was the last time you went to the hospital?
Mm.
You know, I heard of a story of a man that went to go met a woman in the States and brought the woman to Canada. And then when the woman came, she went to go register for family doctor. So when she went for her physical, she took him along because when she came, she's like, "Who is your family doctor? So I can also register with him." He said, I don't have family doctor. I usually just go in for a walk-in clinic." He's like, "Okay, come, let's go to my family doctor." When they went, they did a test on him, not knowing he was a walking dead person. He already had lung cancer that has spread all over his bloodstream, that he only had a few months to live. And he passed on, right? So, and unfortunately, from like you've just been married to a man and he's not even a month, like a year, and he's passed on, right? So, that was a decision that could be preventable. So, your fitness goal includes all of that, okay? So, the last thing I just want to talk about is how we can set smart goals, okay? Smart goals, goals that are achievable, okay? Goals that is achievable, that you can actually achieve them, okay? So the first step is that your goals must be specific. So when I say specific, it means I can say I can set a goal that says that this year I will start a YouTube channel and I'll be talking about women's health. That is specific. I already know the means. I already know the areas I want to focus on. Okay. So your goals must be specific. Okay. So that is how you set smart goals. Because 90% of us are not able to achieve our goals is because our goals are not specific. They're so vague. They're so open-ended, you know? So you want to set specific goals. And the next thing is that your goals must be measurable. Okay? So if I set a YouTube channel, what are the things that I want to do that I'll be able to measure? Okay. So one of the things that can be measurable could be, okay, maybe at the end of the third month, I want to maybe have like 10 subscribers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Or I want to have like 10 views. Okay. So whatever it is, you have to make sure that you can measure it. Okay. So if it's career wise, I want to be able to move on to the next stage of my career where maybe I make $10,000 more. And now until that you've already done the research. So you already know where you are at and where you can go. Right? So that's what goal setting should not just be like something you just pop up of your head. That's something that you've already given it a deeper thought about. Okay? So it has to be measurable. Okay? Or if you have to say, okay, I'll save $10 every week, right? That's $40 a month. That is measurable. Okay? The next thing is it has to be attainable. Okay? And when we talk about attainable, so like one of the things I would say is that sometimes somebody said, oh, I want to save $10,000. Well, you want to save $10,000, but then you have credit card debts, car loan debts, among all these debts. And then you say you want to save $10,000, but you have debts that you have not paid. It's going to be hard for you to attain that because all your money is going to be going to service debts. Okay? So maybe instead of setting that you want to save $10,000, if you are in that predicament, is maybe you want to maybe focus on paying down your debts. And paying down your debts, you can start by paying off the most smallest debts. And then after when you're done, you move on to the next one. Then you move on to the next one. Okay. And after you're done paying all the debts, now you can now think about saving. Okay. And I want to really chip in here. A lot of us are not able to live our full potential in the abroad because number one, we are afraid of debts. Number two, we don't want to pay debts.
Hmm.
You always see these two extremes of people. They go take credit cards and loans from the bank and they don't want to pay it back. Or you see one who doesn't want to take it at all. Either two extremes is bad for you. You need to be in the middle. Okay? Because if you don't do that, it's going to be hard for you to be financially successful in this developed world, whether you are in Europe or you are in Canada or you're in the US. Okay? When you take credit card, please pay. When you take car loan, please pay. If you take bank loan, please pay. Don't say I'm going to declare bankruptcy and all those things are you are suppressing yourself. You are destroying your own self, not the banks. So I don't say I'm not going to take any credit card. You're also diminishing yourself. Okay? So your goals must be attainable. It has to be realistic. It has to be achievable. Okay? You can't say I want to get married when you don't have a man, a partner who's willing to say that they're ready to marry you.
Hmm.
Because just because you're in a relationship and then you want to get married doesn't mean that the other person is ready to get married. That is not an attainable goal. Okay? So we want to make sure our goals are what attainable. And then we also want to make sure that it's relevant. Okay? It's relevant. So it's going to achieve something in our lives. It's going to make a difference in our lives. We just don't want to set goals just for the set the sake of setting goals. Okay? So let's say you have a goal of maybe um doing a course, is the course relevant to your current experience? Okay, because you shouldn't get up and just do a course because you heard that engineers make a lot of money, so you are doing engineering. No, it has to be relevant to your current experience. Or how does your current experience transfer on to that job? Okay, so it has to be relevant. Okay, so that is one of the things. And the last thing I'm going to say is that your goal must be time bound. There must be time related. You have to have a deadline. Okay, you have to set a deadline for yourself. So if, let's say, you want to apply for um, school or to get into uni, you already know there's deadline of admission, there's deadline when class will start. Okay, so the same way, when you're setting your goals, you have to, with your YouTube channel. Okay, you want to set up a YouTube channel in 2023. What day? When are you gonna start your first put it out your first video? Okay, what are your plans on how you're gonna share that video so that you have reach? Are you gonna get help? Okay, how many months or how many content you want to put on there? Okay, and for how long, and what are some of the things you want to achieve within the 3 months period of having that channel? What do you want to achieve after the 6 month? What do you want to achieve after the 1 year? Okay, so you have to have time around your goals. Okay, you can't just say, I want it. I want to start a YouTube channel and it will fall out from the sky, right? So everything has to be time bound so that you're able to know that, oh, okay, today is the 31st. My YouTube channel has still not started, right? So it has to be time bound, okay? So these are very, very important in when we want to um, do our goal setting for 2023. Let's make sure that we are taking all of these things into account. Okay, so I'm going to review the points again for those of us who might not be joining us. Okay, so to set SMART goals, your goals, number one, have to be specific. Number two, it has to be measurable. Number three, it has to be attainable. Number four, it has to be relevant. Number six, it has to be time bound. Okay, so I guess we can put the link in for people to join us. So that if they have questions, they have contribution, please don't forget to share. Please send stars if you like this. Today is the last day of the year. Send stars to our sister because the portal that she's using, she's paying for it. It's not free. Okay. So please send stars, subscribe, share with your friends based on what platform they are. If they like to use YouTube, share it on you from YouTube. If they like to use Facebook, share it on Facebook. Please subscribe and please share.
Thank you so, so much. Before I share the link, yes, my sister said something very important. Those of you who say you love me, because yesterday from about 10 o'clock Canada time, so it was the 31st everywhere else apart from where I am. Everybody came up in arms. I love you so much. Happy birthday. I appreciate all of your goodwill messages. But when you say you love me alone and there's no waiting and there's no nothing, yeah, you love me, I know, but show me you love me. Some of the ways of showing is sending me stars. And no, please, it's not those stars that you press your phone on your phone button. Those emojis. I don't need any of those ones. Those ones don't add nothing to me. It's been a whole 2 years plus, right? That I've been doing this. Yeah, giving you free content and you are enjoying it all, right? If I can if you guys do me happy birthday present by sending stars and all of that, and I can buy some Hausa cocoa and some Milo for my sister, maybe she might be convinced to come more. But if you guys keep doing what you're doing, not sending me no stars, not showing how much you love me, maybe she won't come anymore. I don't know. Right? So you guys, yeah, we like free things. It's good. Free. But free isn't always the best, right? So in 2023, that's level 2. We don't change, right? We can't be doing everything for free just like that all the time. Help me to help you to help us, and let's move this platform forward. Like, there's so much ideas that we have, but limited resources. You can't expect me to do everything if you guys won't help me, right? And if you guys want us to go into more into those details about these points that my sister has just given to you guys free of charge, and help you figure out what it is that you actually want in 2023, I am giving this, in fact, it's literally a giveaway webinar on the 7th of January, right? About these whole things about planning 2023. It's going to be amazing. There's already people who have already booked their spots on the class already. I saw some of them 2 days ago. Yesterday, there were more people, and more people are coming. If you don't want to miss out, this is the time. Oh, I need 100 people in that class on Saturday, right? And this link is up till 3rd of January. If you go to Sika Educate, there's a pin post on the top of the page. Click on it and do what you need to do. And let's get talking on Saturday. It's going to be super, super awesome. I'm looking forward to it myself. I cannot wait, right? The last thing I'm going to say before I get my sister back on and put the link on for those who want to join in, that health thing is a biggie for me. I'm going to talk about it again and then I'll get my sister back, right? Is that your health is your wealth. Like, without health, you can't do anything. There's no point for God to give you a certain number of years on the surface of this planet and give you and trust this life in your hands, ask you to be a good custodian, and you just do it anyhow, as if your life is just something. The only way you can acknowledge God and show reverence to Him is to look after yourself, because this body in which we live in is the temple. This is what He says. It's not my word, it's His word, right? And so if you're a man listening to me and you're in your 40s and you haven't had how do you call it, any test done, right, to check to see what is happening in your intestines, you haven't had no camera, put on your backside to see what is going on there, that thing is one of the main things that removes a lot of our men, our brothers, especially in our community, because by the time things are figured out, it's too late. Guys, I'm pleading with you. If you haven't done it, it's 2023 and you're in your 40s. I beg of you, go and get it done. Even if you live in Africa, you have money for everything else. You have money for side chick and side hen, side duck, side turkey. Please spend some of that and go figure out what is going on with your health. And if you live in the West, these things are offered for free or next to nothing. Don't sit there and allow some unexpected, unwanted, undesirable things to happen to you before you start saying, had I known, right? Because that thing, it takes you out pretty quick, right? And so get out there and get all these things figured out. Diabetes, another big one, right? Get out there and get it figured out. My sister talked about ovarian stuff. There's cervical stuff as well, right? Caused by human papilloma virus. And that virus only thrives by having mama and papa with people. There is no art to tell the mind's construction on the face. You don't know who Papa Nkechi went with before he came to you. Neither do you know where Mama Chioma also went before coming to you. Like, I don't want to be in here, but I just have to say it. So please, I'm begging you, go and get it done. There's too many women that we've lost to cervical, ovarian, and all of that kind uterine kind of cancers. We can't have that in our community in 2023, especially when you live abroad. Like, it's unforgivable. Some of you, when in the NHS back in England, which is where I've lived for many years, when you guys get these letters and they're telling you that it's time for your pap smear. Oh, what? After all, what? Me, there's nothing wrong with me. I'm not feeling anything. Oh, this thing, so what? What is all this? I don't have time. They write to you, you throw it in the garbage. They write to you, put it in the bin, right? And then all of a sudden you don't feel very well, and well, it's gone everywhere. There's nothing they can do to help you. We've lost too many people. Please, I'm begging you, if you haven't listened to anything that my sister and I have talked about today about goal setting, at least listen to your fitness setting and go and get that thing done ASAP. Like, prioritize it. My sister talked about January to go and get all of these things done. Same here. Oh. Same here. Your blood work, everything. Then you know what your MOT is like. Where do you stand? And you can start to do the needful about it. I'm pleading with you guys to get it done in 2023 so that we can all be here to laugh and giggle and smile. I'm going to put the link up now. I'm going to hand back over to my sister whilst I'm doing that. And you guys are amazing. I love you. Okay? Eku, are you there? The floor
Yes,
is
Sika.
yours.
Yes, Sika, I'm there. Really, I guess, really for us to summarize everything is it's important that we understand that we can't just walk about life really without setting some sort of goals or some sort of things that we want to achieve. Yes, our plans are in our life. We can plan for something, but it's God that's going to help us fulfill them. But at the same time, it doesn't mean that we shouldn't have goals or we shouldn't plan things that we want to achieve in our lives, right? It's important that we are teaching ourselves that, and we're also passing it on to our children, right? And really, if you don't know anything, even if you don't want to achieve anything, say you're going to learn something new, a new
Mm-hmm.
skill,
Mm-hmm.
right? Or you're going to add something. Like we see how the world is going, like things are so expensive now, you know, your money is not your income is not growing as fast as your bills are growing. So what you can really do for yourself is to really find ways and means how you can pull yourself up financially, right? Those are all part of goal settings that you can do, right? Or how you can improve on something that you're already doing. Let's say you're somebody like a seamstress. Okay, you'll be sewing, and every year, every day, Christmas, your customers will come, and you're still not done sewing their cloth. What can you do so that that problem will be solved? Don't say, oh, every seamstress is like that,
Mm-mm.
so it's okay. You will have to set yourself apart so that you can be exceptional. And you cannot be exceptional if you have not aligned some steps. And those steps that you outline to be kind of exceptional, whereby by, let's say, 22nd of December, every single outfit that you needed to get sewn would have already been in the hands of your customer.
Hmm. On that
It's
point,
that, right?
my darling, somebody said something. I'm just going to slip this in before you continue about this very thing. And I was so happy when I heard it. A friend of mine went to Ghana recently, and she sent a fabric to have something made. She wanted to surprise me. The person said to her that she stopped taking orders for Christmas back in October because with the volume of stuff that she has, she knows by the pace at which she and the people that she's hired go, there's no way she can deliver on her promise for December if she doesn't stop taking the stock of the things that she's going to get soon by end of October. So if by end of October your fabric ain't there, she ain't taking it, you can come back in January. And guess what? She delivered everything that needed to go to her clients in the 2 week time frame that she promised every single one of them. Why? Because she told the truth, because she's planned, because she's assessed her things and she knows how quickly or not quickly it takes them to make one fabric or one dress, one whatever. And these people like this are not many, right? You sit there, when you see that she has a lot of clientele, you sit there and say she go get juju, she has done this, she's done that, and she's using witchcraft. No, 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 no. This has nothing to do with witchcraft whatsoever at all. It is just because she has effective planning skills and she tells her customers that she has a lot of regard and respect for God's honest truth. Sometimes that's all that your clients are looking for. My darling, continue.
And I mean, this is really great example,
Mm-hmm.
really, really great example of someone who has planning incorporated into her business and not trying to deal with the status quo, right? And this is something, especially when it comes to us, like we really need to work on that because, and that's why it's important that we set goals. It's important because goals also makes you accountable, right? You are making yourself accountable to yourself, and accountability is key because if you're not accountable, you just do things anyhow, right? So it's important that no matter what sphere we are, you can be the factory worker, you can be the sweeper, the person that goes and does cleaning. No matter who you are, you can set goals for yourself, right? I'll give you an example of a friend who is a cleaner, and cleaning has been something that he's been doing for years. And I always be telling him, I've been telling him for years, at least for the past 7 years. I keep telling him, like, bruh, this is your cleaning business you are doing. You need to step up. Oh. You need to move on to the next level because you need to come to the point whereby you have employees and you are just a benefactor. I don't want to be hearing that you are also part of your cleaners because that is not sustainable, right? And I just touched base with him a few weeks, like, I really given a thought about what we talked about. And I've decided I want to go start with one, you know, with one and pull myself aside and let the the workers do that by themselves where I step aside, right? Because I said if you don't free yourself or you don't set a pattern of freeing yourself, how can you achieve other goals that you have set for yourself?
Mm.
Right? And sometimes some of us we want to be everywhere. You cannot be everywhere and still achieve the goals that you want to achieve, right? So when we're talking about goal settings and we're talking about how we want to achieve them, how we're going to be able to measure them, how we're going to be able to really have goals, achieve all the goals that we set in the 7 areas of our lives. We also have to think about the time we are wasting on things that are not productive,
Mm-hmm.
unproductive things. You know, this one call you for adoring. This one call you for funeral. You go. Sometimes your money can go and your body can remain so that you can achieve something, right? Don't be all over the place so that you end up not achieving anything for yourself, right? Commit yourself to time. Commit time to your goals. Commit time for all the goals that you have set to reflect on them. How are you going to achieve them, right? And the best thing really you can do is try and start with the simple things. You know, like I said, like me, I just call all my cable bill company in general and call them, ask them, tell them that hey, I have cable, I have internet, I have phone, and I'm paying $120. Is there a better deal? By the time you tell them, maybe You own your home, and you also have what do you call it, security. But the cable company also has a security plan. You can maybe cancel your $50 a month security plan and then get internet, cable, phone, and security plan all for $120. Guess what?
You save
Now
$50.
you save $50. And that $50 is money now you can save
Mm-hmm.
that you can now put towards your saving goal. So you're killing two birds with one stone.
Mm-hmm.
Don't just be where I wake up, I go, I come. I wake up, I go, I come. No. You're gonna have to
Be intentional.
really be intentional with everything that you do to make your life better, because really there's so much. Some of us have high blood pressure, we are having so much stress because we are overwhelming ourselves with unnecessary things.
Mm-hmm. Tell us.
Unnecessary things,
Mm.
right? If you have the means, and let's say you have the means, maybe your job is like 3 hours away. Like last time I was listening to someone and they said their part-time job is 1.5 hours away.
Hmm.
If you're going to school and your part-time job is 1.5 hours away, maybe what you need to do is you either need to quit that job and try and find one that's closer, or maybe you need to think about a better mode of transportation. Maybe you need to get your driver's license. You need to get a car. Because if you add that 1.5 hours in and out, that's 3 hours of your day, out of your 24 hours, now you have only 21 hours.
Yeah.
Out of, you go do that part-time job, that's 4 hours. Then, so your job alone is taking 7 hours of your day. You
And you're
have
not
to sleep
even
for
making
eight
money with
hours.
almost half of it.
Exactly. When you measure time by
Mm.
money,
Mm.
you'd be surprised
How much
how
you're wasting.
effective and how wasteful you are being. Like for me, I always measure my time by the minimum wage.
Hmm.
Minimum wage is $15 an hour. So if you are spending 3 hours a day,
Hmm.
how much is that?
Hmm.
45 $45 a day. Multiply by 300. If you go to work Monday to Friday,
Mm.
multiply that by 5 days,
Mm.
and then the reason why I do that, Sika, is because in case maybe you don't want to buy a car, you don't want to drive because you think driving is expensive, multiply the time you waste in the public transit by the minimum wage.
Mm.
Because maybe your job can be, you can be there in half an hour, right? So multiply that, and then from that math, decide whether you need a car or you don't need a car. Don't just say, oh, it's $400 a month, so it's too expensive. No, that is not doing it right. That's not a better way for you to set your goal on achieving that, right? Think about time loss, possible ability to maybe have a part-time job, or possibly ability to either go to school to help yourself to move your career forward. So measure your time loss in that sense, using the minimum wage as your base measure. Maybe you might not be earning minimum wage, right? But at least if you use minimum wage, it's a better measurement because at least almost all of us, if we are working, will at least be making minimum wage,
Mm-hmm.
right? So that's why I use that as my base measure, right? For that. So these are some of the things that I want us, all of us, to think about, right? How we can sustain ourselves financially, how we can achieve all 7 goals, right? In in every areas that we mentioned, whether it's your spiritual life, your finances, career, family, social, right? And your intellect, your intellectual. All of these things can be achievable if we also learn time saving, right? How we can utilize our time effectively in 2023.
Mm, mm, mm. Like I'm just waiting for a few more minutes to see who's going to join us. I've shared the link a few times. If you have anything that you want to say about setting goals, my sister has talked about setting smart goals. If there's anything that you want to share about goal setting, if you have questions to ask, you've got 10 minutes to do that because we're going to wrap up earlier today and we're going to go. We've actually been here over the hour that we set. So this is just, birthday treat for everybody. So 10 more minutes. If we don't hear anything, if nobody's going to join us, we're going to wrap up and we're going to go. But today, I just want to say that I love you guys so much. Like, thank you so much for all the love that you guys have shown me from the 9th of August of 2020 to date. You guys, like, you're super awesome. Every single one of you, your likes, your shares, your follows, your comments, your engagement. Those of you who have gone a step further to send stars, I appreciate every single one of you, right? If you haven't signed up for that course on the 7th of January, please do so. The link is also in this video. Sister Aisha Ankara, oh, my darling, thank you so much for being here. Now, this sister, if you can love half as much as this sister loves, yeah, you are in good business. From the very get go, when Sika Educates was 0 followers, 0 viewers, my big sister was here sharing, commenting, liking, engaging, like sending stars. Like, I don't even know what else to say, right? If you don't know how to laugh, please message my sister Aisha. She will show you how, right? Sister Aisha, God bless you. Thank you so much. We wouldn't be here without you. I love you. I know you're one of the pioneers of this platform, and I really, really appreciate you. I can't wait to see you in person. I hope it will be soon. Yes. I love you guys, every single one of you. And I also want you to help me say thank you to my sister who is co host or whatever you want to say on here today. Like, this is my Calgary mom, okay? This woman right here, my Calgary mom. Ikwamwa, aka Roberta, even though she doesn't see Roberta much on social media, but that's her name, right? Like, the love is just out of this world. When I'm hungry, I know when I go to her house, my belly will be so full I can't even walk. Her children, yay! The love is amazing. I got the best, like the first birthday chorus I got this morning. Yeah, I know they're heavenly choristers in heaven. These girls, oh my God, it's like, yeah. Thank you so much, my darling. If you're looking for somebody to kick your nyash and push you, trouble. Like, she'll barbecue your nyash and burn it and everything. Uh-huh. These are the sorts of people. Like, they'll bring ideas, you talk about it. Sometimes you disagree, you fight over it. Sometimes you're not even willing to listen. Uh-huh. But if all you have is the kokonsa type of friend, my please, my darling, it's time for you to find you some new friends. And Sister Kwamwa, Sister Aisha says thank you. Thank you for looking after the UK sports brat who is now in Calgary, who doesn't have a mom in Calgary and has now found one in Calgary and is sports rotten. I go for sleepovers. It's just amazing. Amazing. Thank you guys. And say thank you to Sister Kuamwa for me. Do, please. Pray for her. Those of you who have knees and go on your knees praying, please. When you go, say a prayer for this my sister for me, because she's just out of this world. Not just her, but her family. Hmm. When I'm sick, she's there. She's the nurse. She's the doctor. She's advisor. Everything, like everything. Mm, yes. So this is my Calgary mom. Okay. Now you guys see why I'm not coming back to England, because I already have mama for here. Yeah. The star button should be on the video, honey. It should be yellow button, like a star with some liney thing on the bottom. It should be. All right, you guys, we're gonna wrap up. Sister Kwamwa, what have you got to say for yourself?
Well, I guess like one of the last thing I would say is friends, please, friends. And the reason why I say friends is that I have always found ways where I see people or people come to me and they say something to me. I remember last time somebody said something to me. The first thing I asked the person is, what kind of friends have you kept around that have allowed you to ditch yourself into such pits? It's very, very important to know the type of friends you have. And for me, one of the things I would tell people as you're setting your goals, right? And then in terms of our very last goal, which was is a social one, is you need to make sure that for each one of the goals you have set, you have someone in your network that is able to help you achieve that goal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This is really my conclusion. Anyone. So if you want to achieve your spiritual goal, you need to find someone. It could be your pastor's wife, right? If you're a woman, if you're a man, it could be your pastor. And if you know you're an imam, right? How do you achieve those goals? By you yourself allowing yourself to become to be mentored, okay? To be mentored. A lot of us do not want us to be mentored. Your friends who are high achievers can mentor you.
Mm-hmm.
Humble yourself and let them mentor you. Let them show you the ropes. Let them show you the way. Don't go to them and say, oh, you bought a car, so me too, I want to buy a car like you. Don't do that. Ask them, I would love to, but I don't know how, right? Ask the right questions. And please find the right friends. Don't just no don't just be friends because you want to be friends with people so that maybe they'll say I'm popular or they'll say I'm part of the cool crowd. No, that can lead to your detriment. So if you want to achieve any goals in those 7 areas that I mentioned, family, spirituality, intellectually, career wise, your fitness, make the right friends, please. And get rid of the ones who have never had any value in your life. I will stop here so that the
Auntie
person that
Ya
has
is in
joined
the
us in it.
house.
Yes. Auntie, welcome
Yay!
and
Auntie
happy
Ya.
new year.
Hello, ladies. Happy New Year. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes, happy new year, sweetheart.
Okay. Sika,
The floor
happy
is yours.
birthday.
Thank you.
Happy birthday to you, Sika.
Thank you.
You are a gem. I see your bright smile. You know what? I came on quite late. So I may have to take it from the beginning, but this topic is so important to me. And I'll say that as an older woman, sometimes we tend to drift through life and we don't pay any attention. Then you come to a place where you get the awakening and you tell yourself, I have to do that. I wasn't somebody who used to plan out. It would be in my head. But about 5 years ago or so, you start to write things down and each year you try to do better. So the part that I want to focus on is that, life should be about continuous learning. It's not only about going to sit in a classroom and get a doctorate or what have you. These days, the system has changed. All kinds of things are going on. But I realize that our people, maybe I'm speaking broadly, some of us then, we don't like to invest in ourselves. If it's $10, we complain about it. But the trick that I found, that's why I came on to share. If you are on social media, if you are scrolling through, just study, there's all kinds of things on there. A lot of times, if you see something that is, some training, whatever it is, it piques your interest. You click, just register, go on. This is my key. The first class is always free. So all you need is to use your time and go on and listen. After they've given you the basic information, then they give you the offer. It is up to you to take it or not. That is how, if you are somebody that maybe you think you don't have money, you are, so watch out for these things. At least you get information. You take your notepad, you go sit in, and you write down points. I've planned my year already as best as I can, is how I put it. And this year I took it further. I was telling my daughters I always write my goals in my OneNote. But if I don't turn my laptop on, I'm not looking at it. So I brought it to my phone, and then I said, no, I ordered this big note from Amazon with 5 tabs. And I summarized my key areas into the 5. So I labeled them. So now when I go there, it's there. Anything I'm doing, I want it all in one place. So that's one thing that I did for myself. But I'm here to talk about the learning aspect, building yourself, a personal development. You see, yesterday, a gentleman, Mr. Chamatin, was doing something on planning, and I thought, oh, I'm curious, let me go in. And I did. I got information. I even brought my young man from Ghana, this young man that I kind of talked to, a mentor and all that. And we listened, and it was great. I saw Sikas, and I looked, and I'm like, $25? What is $25? So I signed up, because it's about getting information and building yourself up. It's the mindset. We have to shift the paradigm. You have to change something. You want to you should be in a mode of always wanting to learn. But if you don't, and like Sister Kua was saying, they'll invite you to a funeral, you'll go. They'll invite you to outdoor, and you are there. Party, everywhere you are there. Time is the commodity. I put a post yesterday. Time is a valuable commodity, and we need to respect it and use it wisely. So those are my thoughts that I came to share. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much, Auntie. Yeah, you couldn't have said it better. On this whole thing about time eluding you, I wanted to go there, but Auntie Ya has started this, so I'm just gonna say this here. You know, you're just there, and what a lot of people will say to you is, after all, die be die. As for human beings, when you live on the surface of the planet, you have to have fun. It's a so really, really. Like, I'm not saying don't have fun. I'm not saying don't go for parties. I'm not saying none of that. But there's funeral. I know some people who have funeral cloths in their car. Yeah. Back in England, they go for 4 funerals in one day. So from 6 p.m. to 12 midnight, you've left your husband and children at home, and you are in 4 funerals. Some of them, their whole purpose of going for funerals is that's where they are the the elite gentlemen. They've gone for funeral not because they even know the person who's deceased or a family member of the deceased. They've gone there with their own aim, which is to go and catch fish. So they wear provocative clothing that they've spent money to pay for. All the makeup and everything you can think of. I know my sister Ekuamwa can relate, because it's the same thing that happens in Ontario. You're in every party, every funeral, everything. But spend $10 and acquire knowledge, improve yourself. Now we see them the other. What do I need this for? All these
Yes.
book long people, they come and sit there and make all this noise. And when the book long people are making it, when you see a sister who is advanced themselves, now you're jealous. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Our Caucasian counterparts, I've seen people pay as much as $10,000, Antia, to go and sit down and be
Yes.
teachable and coachable and learn things and apply it to themselves to become better people. Like, we're just having a laugh. We're just joking in our community. So thank you so much for raising that. If you have anything else to say, Antia, the floor is yours.
Oh, I just have one last thing that I forgot. Talking about these free courses that you see online, I saw one, and it was 2 ladies. It said, "Think like an investor," which I booked the week before this past one. So it happened this Thursday, and it's 2 ladies who had their Harvard degrees, whatever, and they were narrating their poverty story. One lady was talking about, I heard one of you talking about a gentleman who was walking around being sick. She said, this one of the ladies, and they call themselves the Jane Dows or Dow Janes, and so she said her parents got sick, hit by sickness, just a few months short of each other. So they were always fighting about money. So that put it in her mind that she has to work hard not to struggle for money. She did get into the same pattern, but she got out. But what I'm saying here is, for me, I thought, I'm curious. You know, in our environment, we were not, financial literacy is not something that we were taught. So you find out on your own, and I'm taking it more serious now. So I get curious about it. And I said, I'm going to go listen to this. But just the way they did the presentation, it was so simple. And I was telling my friend that, you know, when women are teaching, it is different somehow. Just the way that, you know, it's not something so dry that you can't relate to. I related to it, and I was happy that I went in, and what they were talking about, it's something that I need to be doing. So when they made the offer, I took it. And somebody will say, oh, but Sika, what is money? Like you said, people spend 10,000, they spend 25,000 in the aim of being better versions of themselves. So if you are willing, you will. You know, even them, they came back. I took the monthly payment. They came back and said, oh, if you pay in full, this. And I said, okay, me, I won't mind you right now, but we'll deal with it. But I'm in, and I have the information. These days, you don't have to go sit in classroom. They have once a week or whatever. There's 3 times a week, but you can sign up for one and listen to what they have to tell you. And there's places to go, and there's modules to go through. And to me, that is a valuable use of my time. I'm in my house. There's 3 things like that I'm looking at, you know, studying for myself. And I mean, I'm saying this to tell people that anybody can do it. You know, Sika, when you go on TikTok, all our people are sitting on there is talking about sex and how to this and that and that. Look at the mind. What is the mind for? I'll rest it here. Thank you.
Auntie, yeah, God bless you.
You know, to really add to what Auntie just Auntie, thank you so much for sharing this. And I will say this to really emphasize on what she just said. In 2014, I made a bold step whilst I was on maternity leave to take a course. The course cost me $6,000.
Okay.
This $6,000 didn't include, because that time obviously we weren't doing online or anything. It had to in person, and so I had to go after work. I had to find babysitters for my 2 kids. One of them was just 6 months old because I was on mat leave. And to tell you, making that bold decision increased my income bracket by $40,000.
You.
Wow.
For 6,000, Beji 40,000. How can you beat that? Like what is
from 2014 till now? That's how much it increased my income bracket by.
You.
And then guess what too? My job now is less stressful. And not only that, I'm also gaining more knowledge, being exposed to more opportunity. That even if I want to go out crazy, I can earn more money. Right? So when it comes to when we talk about personal development, it's very, very, very important. And really to re-emphasize, I think I said this in the beginning, I'm going to say it again. Don't think that you need to have Form 5 or you need to have a degree or you need to have all those things. Those information you can listen in and learn. Okay? You can listen in, learn, and apply. You don't need to be extraordinary. You don't need to have a PhD. You don't need to have so much things. There's one Nigerian lady that I discovered online 2 years ago, and she had applied to University of Saskatchewan to come and study theology from Nigeria. And then she said when she came, as she was doing her PhD, she see all these Oyibo girls, like and boys. They were learning. I think where she ended up, because when you in Canada those days, that time that she came, when you are international student, you have to work on campus, right? You can't work outside. So I think the lab where she was working, these guys were studying 3D printing.
Hot
Okay?
cake in Calgary. Yes.
They were studying 3D printing. So she just looked and she kept on going. She kept looking and was like, this thing, me too, I can study it too. So she said that's how she ended up switching and then doing it. The 3D printing. Do you know that during the pandemic, that was the most sought after expertise? 3D printing. And during the pandemic, that's how she became a multi-millionaire, because she was one of the few Black people who have mastered in that area. And now she is now using this experience to teach other Black women and other Nigerians who want to get into all these fields, right? So it's a very, very important when it comes to self-development. I know that our people, all they want to hear is about where Kwasasem, this, that, right? But as we are gathering in here, even if it's 5 people, 10 people, we are making an impact. We are we are creating the change that we want to see, right? And for me, that is one of the inspirations that when I follow her every day, just so that when I wake up, I know that somebody for me who is inspiring me, that your career does not have to be the same. You can propel yourself to much more greater heights every day. It's up to you as an individual to choose that.
Auntie, we are going to wrap up. If you have a last word, please give it to us and we'll wrap up and leave.
Okay. The last thing that I'll say is that in our community, you hear a lot of things like, oh, I'm a woman, or a man should look after me, or whatever. Or sometimes you are in relationships, and because you haven't worked hard to create your side hustle or some income to help you do these learnings, you are relying on a man. And how do you put it? Because they control the purse or whatever it is, and maybe you only have bringing in a smaller share of the cake, you are subject to whatever is going on in the house, and he'll tell you can't pursue your goals. There's a lot of women who are living resentfully, or that is their excuse. Oh, if I do this, my husband will say this or that. What about you? What can you do for you? We are so busy playing these roles that we forget ourselves. Sika, I've come on your platform many times and there have been different topics, and I've written that I wrote my books without a penny from my husband.
Yes, I
Being
remember.
Ghanaian, somebody will say, oh, she's disrespecting her husband. That is not the point. I'm trying to say that when you are financially independent and you can have your own money, you can pursue things you want to without anybody stopping you or standing in your way. So I'll park it right here. Thank you so much.
Thank you so,
Sika.
so much, Auntie, for your time and for being here. Happy New Year. Afinshapa, Auntie.
You too. Happy New Year to you both. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Ikwama, the floor is yours. We're wrapping up.
Oh, I think what Auntie Ya said, I really wanted to just reiterate this. Women, we need to work on doing things on our own. We I'm not saying that you can be independent of your partner, but what I'm saying is that you need to build yourself up, because nobody knows tomorrow, okay? Don't think that marriage is what is going to propel you to greatness. The greatness is already inside of you, okay? So let's take out what our auntie said with such and hold it to our chest. It's very great wisdom for all of us, for our young ones, for our old ones, as that we need to have our own money so that when we see something that we want to pursue, we can pursue it. And then also, one of the things I would say is that just because you are in the abroad, it does not mean that you cannot go and learn how to sew, or it does not mean you cannot go and learn how to do hair, or it does not mean you cannot go and learn how to do nails. Whatever you want to do, you can do it, and you can do it and be a great entrepreneur, and be a great businesswoman as you be in Ghana. I always say people, I'm going to go to Ghana and go open a business. I'm going to go to Nigeria and go open the business. And the question I always tell them is that why can't you do it here? What is stopping you from doing it here? You can even do it here, be more successful, make more money. So, women, let's empower ourselves. Let's equip ourselves. You know, let's set goals in all 7 areas of our lives. Okay, our spiritual life, our financial life, our career, our intellectual life, as well as our fitness. Okay, let's not play with our health and our well-being. Okay, and then we also want to set goals in our social life. We just don't want to be a walkabout, you know, living. And then we also want to set goals in our family. Our kids need to see that the family is working. When the family is not working, that's when we have a lot of dysfunctionality, right? The family unit breaks apart and there's chaos, and our children are distraught and they end up on the streets. We as women especially, we need to be very focused on our family. Let's set goals for our family. Let's be loving. Let's be caring. Let's be each other's keepers. And happy New Year to everyone listening to us. Please don't forget to share. Don't forget to subscribe, okay, to the YouTube channel if you're not subscribing. If you subscribe to the YouTube channel, when we are having this live video, you can watch it there, and then you can actually click the link. It's easy to click the link on YouTube to join us in the conversation. We want to hear from you. If you're still listening now, you can join so that you can come and wish Sika happy birthday. We want her to feel very loved. Okay, come and give her a shout out. Wish her happy birthday. We thank you all. We pray that God will bless you in this coming new year. And I believe, Sika, one of our goals in this coming new year is we want to do a Twitter space, right? So hopefully, if you're not on Twitter and you're not following Sika Educate on Twitter, please do so. Go and follow her. She is on Twitter. Okay, so follow Sika on Twitter. We'll be hosting some spaces soon. So watch out for that. Okay, we're going to be hosting Twitter spaces where we are going to be talking, and justing. Okay.
Absolutely. You guys, like, I love you so much. Sister Kwamwa, thank you so much. Yes, Twitter is coming. She and I are backdoor, just trying to fine tune things, find suitable times that work for the both of us in our busy schedules and, work commitments, yada, yada. And then once we've got all of those things settled, yes, we're going to do that. And there'll be a whole announcement about that. Now, my sister Ekuamwa, you mentioned something about a class that we're going to be having about catfishing, and I wanted you to talk about that as we wrap up because that's also coming in 2023, and it's absolutely essential, especially for our girl children, our women, to be on that thing so that we can, set things right for some of us. So can you say that before we
Yes.
go?
So we are gonna have a class on catfishing. So we will set it up on Sika Educate, and everyone can register. We want you to register to come to the class. Most of us women like, and this is really essential, especially for us women and also for us guys, because this week alone, there has been 2 victims of catfishing. One of them was a lady in Abuja who unfortunately did not make it alive. Okay. And then I saw one with one Ghana guy from Boahafo, okay, that was, having to live it because he's also been catfished. So, boys and girls, we're going to set up the link. I want you to register because the Ghana guy, I believe, have lost about 3 to 4,000 euros on this catfishing. So, this class is not going to be free. It won't be
Mm-mm,
free. You're going
mm-mm,
to pay for it.
mhm,
Okay.
mhm.
Because, and then the woman in Abuja, she lost her Highlander. She lost her Toyota Camry as well as money, as well
And her
as her
life.
dear life. So I want everyone that's listening to us to register for this catfishing. We are going to teach you how you know you're being catfished and how you can prevent yourself from being victimized. So please join and register for the class. Sika will make it available. Check her page. Soon we'll make it available.
Okay, guys, we're not gonna be here any longer. I'm tired. It's my birthday. I want to get out there and go have me some fun. So I just want to stop by and say thank you to every single person that is here. Natasha, Mary, my brother Kwame, I haven't seen in a long time. Nico, Antia, my sister Kwamo. I like you guys. Just super awesome. I love you. God bless you. Mm-mm. Bye. I love you. Take care. Kwama, did you have anything else? Is she there? Hello. Okay. It looks like my sister is gone. So I'm going to go too. I love you guys. Mwah. I love you. Okay. Take care. God bless you. Bye.